Do you know what? I work with at least a few bloggers, and I am shocked at how many of them don't have Google Search Console plugged into their website, okay? Google Search Console is the one interface that you get with Google themselves, okay? It's like being able to directly have a conversation with Google. So, hello, my name is Google. Hello, my name is Jeff Blogger. Hi, Jeff Blogger. How are you doing today? Your website's looking really good. I'm doing really good, thank you for asking. Thank you for saying nice things about my website. So if you don't have Google Search Console, then you're missing out on loads of bits of really vital information that you could be taking from Google and helping to drive more traffic and get more out of your SEO and your links and all that kind of jazz. So, this video is all about getting Google Search Console onto your blog and onto your website, and then we'll take a look at some of the information that you can get out of it to read it properly, because it can be a little bit confusing. So we're going to break it down into its all little bits and see if we can read it so you can get some actionable stuff out of it. Tends to be quite simple and easy, but let's just make sure. So here we go. Okay, so let's get into it. Check out my blog, okay? It's brand new, it's not got anything on it. You can see it's got like Latin, Lorem Ipsum in here. Just made it for the sake of, it being a demonstration blog, okay? It's built on WordPress. Here's the back end, and this is how I'm going to show you where everything goes, how it all gets set up, all that kind of stuff, okay? The first thing that I've done is I've logged already into Search Console. Now, you are going to need a Google account to do this, so I'm sure you already have one because you've probably got Google Analytics or something like that, okay? But if you haven't, then go and get yourself a Google account because you'll need it to be able to gain access to Google Search Console. So log in. You'll need to go to search.google.com. If you try and just enter that on its own, sometimes it'll just try and take you to Google. So then you've got a Google Search Console, which is sometimes a bit weird. So you can do that to find your way. But this is Google Search Console. Now you can see I've already got a site in here. Now I'm a very naughty boy because you can see that my own site here, dmpunk.co.uk, actually doesn't have anything. There's no data here. Okay, that's because I've recently moved it across. But that's by the by, okay? Don't even think about that for the time being. We have not got this website here onto Google Search Console. So what do we do? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create the property in here. So I've dropped down there and click create property. Now there's two options here. I can do this by domain or I can do it by URL prefix. Now, if you can do it by domain, that's great. You can do it that way. What that'll mean is you'll need to just send some information over to your DNS. If you're working on Wix or something like that, then that's really easy because you can just edit the DNS records in there. If you're not sure about any of that and you're a little bit nervous, you can do it this kind of other way, which is actually how I do it most times when I'm working in agency land. I do it this way. So this is the URL prefix. Okay, so I'm going to use that and I'm going to type in the URL. So probably the best way of doing this is go in here. I can see I've got an SSL on there, so I'm just going to copy and paste that into here. You can see my URL is a bit weird because I've got this kind of subdomain thing going on. You'll be, relatively straightforward. It'll either be, just the URL and then the domain. That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all the same outcome. So I'm going to just let that go, and it's going to try and find the website, which is great, and then it's going to say, hey, do you already have this? All that kind of stuff. No, it already recognizes I do not have this. Okay, now this is not in Google Search Console already, which is good because we kind of already knew that. So let's go and put this onto Google Search Console. So you may be tempted to just immediately go after something like Google Analytics. Now I think I do have Google Analytics on this site. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to do it a certain way anyway. You could just click verify. If you've got Google Analytics already set up or Tag Manager or something like that, then you could just click verify and it might work. Now sometimes it's a little bit hit and miss if I'm being really honest with you. So we're going to do it a different way. We're going to do how I do it most ways, which is using the HTML tag, okay, because it's super easy, certainly if you're in WordPress. So what this has given me here is just a little bit of code, which you can see here. I can copy it here, copy to clipboard, a little bit of code for me to put onto my website, ideally on the home page within the head section, okay, to be able to put this so that Google can verify that I'm definitely the person that owns this website. If I'm the person that's put this code on this site, then I'm definitely the person that owns this website, which is true. So I need to find a way within WordPress to be able to do this. Now, probably the easiest way that most of you will have is you've probably got something like Yoast set up, okay? So Yoast, if you don't have it set up, I do recommend. It's an SEO plugin. It's got a completely free tier, and it allows you to optimize your site for SEO goodness. And I'm probably going to do a lot more videos about WordPress and Yoast and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't have it, get it. All you do, go over to plugins, add a new plugin, search for Yoast. It's like toast but with a Y, and then find it, Yoast SEO. You can see it right there, and I'm going to activate it. Really good, useful plugin. There is some competitors out there. If you're not sure about Yoast, there are some other ones out there, but Yoast is a really solid option for an SEO plugin for WordPress, and a very, very popular one as well. But I am going to be talking about some other ones in the future. Now, okay, so we can see here this SEO on my little menu here. That is Yoast. And what I'm going to go to search appearance, which I think is where I need to go. Sometimes I forget. I'm going to go to search appearance. And what I am looking for is Webmaster tools. Okay, it's actually in general, which is fine. So I'm in general, and I'm going to click on Webmaster tools. I've not done anything else. I've not done the setup for Yoast because we just want to get in Google Search Console onto the site. So you can see here it's giving me Baidu, which is a Chinese search engine, Bing, which you know from Microsoft, Google, which is the one we're talking about, and Yandex, which is Russian. So we're going to do Google. I'm going to take this code and I'm going to copy it here from my Google Search Console. I'm going to paste it in here, save those changes, and there we go. We are done. So we go back over to Search Console. That code is now on our site, or at least should be. So when I click Verify Now, Google should go and check out the site and find the code that matches with that, and then it should say, hey, you definitely own this site, so let's go. And there we go. So it's saying we've found it, you've verified your ownership. I'm going to go to property now, and here we go. So as you can see, there is absolutely zero data because Google's only just found out about you. Okay, so there's zero data in there. So if you're at this stage, you can take a break, you can leave it for a couple of days, and then you can come back later on and pick up the rest of this video if you want to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take another example, and I'm going to take you through some of the key data on Google Search Console which might be of interest to you. So I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, that is it. That's how you get Google Search Console onto your WordPress site. It is really, really simple. And if you're using Yoast, it makes it even simpler. Look, I will go into how you get all that data and use all that data in another video. So go and check that out. By then, we should have some data in our Google Search Console, and we'll be able to really start using it to improve traffic, to improve what we're doing as we're blogging, to see what certain blogs are doing well over other blogs, what we should be replicating, because obviously we're seeing performance in certain areas. So we'll take a look at all that in our other video. Until then, make sure that you subscribe to the channel to get all these tips and tutorials and guidance and to drive more traffic to your blog. And until then, I'll speak to you very, very soon.